Hey friends, how are you? Hope you're well and you've had a good week. Mine's been not bad actually. It's been a nice week. Excuse me. I'm very yawny today. I'm afraid. Sorry guys. Sleeping's been a bit hit and miss at times. Sometimes I get off to sleep really quickly. Other times it's just I am awake for a wee while. But hey ho, that's just the way life is. Yeah, I was at the chiropractor on Monday, so that was a good appointment. And then on Wednesday, I went for a swim. Oh, the pool was cold, guys. It was seriously cold. It was like take your breath away cold. And I went in, and I have asthma. My chest went straight. But thankfully, I managed to swim through it, which was fine. I didn't need to use my inhaler. But there were two ladies there that were they were there for kind of a half spa day, and they squealed when it went into the pool because it was so cold. So I'm going to go back this week, and if it's not any warmer, I will be sort of complaining a bit because it's not actually that healthy to be swimming in a pool that cold, especially if I know that sort of, shall we say, international swimmers, the pool is pretty chilly when they go in, but for just, shall we say, just leisure swimmers, you want to be a bit warmer where you don't feel your muscles going really really tight. So done that. And then this morning, I made a new cake yesterday. Mum and I made a new cake. You will see the video for that at the very end of this video. So if you want some baking content, it'll be at the end. And then this morning we took some frozen fruit that we had in the freezer out, and we made some jam. Mum's doing good. She's doing better. We were out for a cuppa yesterday, and then she came out with me this morning to do the messages. So that was really nice that she walked round one of the supermarkets in town. So that was good that she did that. She's resting now for the afternoon, so that's fine. Reading wise, I've read 5 books, and I'll finish the 6th one today. So the books I read, the first book I read was Lady Amelia's Scandalous Secret by Eva Shepherd. This is a Mills and Boon and Harlequin historical that comes out, I think it comes out at the end of the May. I will leave in the description, I will leave the publication date down there. So we meet Lady Amelia, and Lady Amelia has been brought up in her father's home by her aunt because her mother has passed away. And while Lady Amelia's brothers were being educated, she would sneak into the schoolroom, and the tutor just educated her as well. When her father found out, he was not very happy, but I don't think he did much to stop it. He wants Lady Amelia to get married, and she's not that keen on the idea. It is not in her agenda. She just, she doesn't want to be one of these simpering wives who is like, yes dear, you're right dear, absolutely dear. She's not that type at all. She has her own mind, she has her own brain, and she wants to use it. Her aunt has given her money with which she has started a ladies' magazine, or it's called a newspaper, which deals with politics, science, all of all these sort of educational things. But her father doesn't know about this, and she's loving being the editor of this paper and trying to increase its revenue, etc. She goes to the bank for a loan, and he won't give it to her because she's a woman, which irates her. I mean, she really is. She's like, inside she is seething, but she's having to go, oh, right, fine. He's like, the bank manager, go and ask your daddy if you come and like be the guarantor for this loan. She's like, oh right, I'll make sure I do that. And inside she's like, you absolute twat, I want this for myself. I'm not gonna, why do I have to kowtow to a man? So this is kind of, she's really quite feisty, which I really really liked. And this night that she ends up, her father's sort of saying, "Oh, remember, we're going out for dinner today. We're going out to Mr. Devenish's house," and this is Leo Devenish, and he is a self-made man, and basically he's been pulled up from a lowly beginning and is now very, very wealthy. But he's not totally accepted in London because of this. And we find out why later on in the book. But during the meal, Lady Amelia is put between two lords, and they are just like, they are boring as heck. And she's like, "Oh, for goodness sake." And Leo says something, and she immediately comes back with a one line response, which attracts his attention. And her father, I could mentally see her father going, "Oh, for goodness sake, woman, keep your mouth shut." So this starts a sparky debate between the two of them. And like all the other men around the table are like sort of laughing at her, but Leo is actually interested in what she has to say. So this starts, no, I wouldn't call it a relationship. It starts a sparky acquaintance between the two of them. And things happen at the end of having spent time together. And he has things in his past that has shaken him. But she helps him in many ways see things differently. And so manages to make his life a bit easier in many ways because of this. And he sort of loves the fact that she has her own mind and that she is educated and is interested in, politics, etc., etc. It was so well written. I really, really enjoyed this. I am not one at times for majorly like historicals. But this one really grabbed me. I mean, I read it in a day because it was just so good. I wanted to know what happened next. I really, really did enjoy it, and I'm glad that I got the chance to read it. Next, I picked up some books for Amish in April. So I read this one, Her Amish Legacy. So the first book was A Love for Lizzie by Tracy J. Lyons. So Lizzie Miller and her family have a farm, and her father works it, but something happens to him that he is not able to work the farm for a while, and he needs help. And Lizzie is doing all she can to help out the family, and we find that she has a deformity in her face. She has a scar from her childhood, and that makes her very self-conscious. Their neighbour Paul is happy to lend a hand and wants to lend a hand, but he also wants to encourage Lizzie to do more, and he knows that she's good at art and drawing, and he encourages her and gives her supplies so that she can, on the QT, paint. Paul has his own, I wouldn't call it struggles, but he has his own decision to make, and he decides he's going to start his own furniture making business shop in the town rather than being at his family's farm. And this is not going down very well with his father, but things happen. And he persuades Lizzie to let him sell some of her paintings in his store. Lots of things happen and things come to a head, and it was beautifully written. I really liked this one. I gave it 4 out of 5. I really did enjoy it. I did find the fact that Lizzie's father was, I can't really say he was down on Lizzie, but part of me thinks that was the word to use. He didn't think much of her. And I felt that was a shame. You know, I felt he could have encouraged her a bit more. Her mum was really nice. Her mum did try and encourage her, so that kind of helped a bit. So no, it was a nice story, and I really enjoyed it. I then read The Farmer Next Door by Patricia Davids. So Faith comes to Hope Springs, and she's a widow, and she didn't know that her husband owned this land and a farmhouse until he passed away, and things had happened where they lived that she needed to move. So she moves to the farmhouse, and it's needing work, and the surrounding area or farmsteading needs work as well. And she's brought with her alpacas because she wants to spin their wool into yarn and sell it. And on the second day she arrives there, her next door neighbour comes to her. Adrian comes to her because her alpacas have got out. He tried to catch one, it spat on him. So he goes to help her catch them, to discover that she has a leg injury. And they get talking as they hunt for the alpacas and get them, and he helps her. Faith is also hoping to adopt her brother's son. Her brother and his wife were killed. They have left a 6-year-old son who she wants to adopt. And so she needs to get the house ready, and she needs to get sort of the farm looking a bit neater. But she doesn't know anyone in the community apart from Adrian. But he sort of gets people together to come and help her. And we see her beginning to make friends. We see her herself and Adrian beginning to sort of open up to each other. And her brother's son, her nephew Kyle, comes to stay. And things are a bit rocky to begin with. He's been brought up as an Englisher, and he doesn't know the Amish ways and stuff. And there are ups and downs, as there was bound to be. Did I care for his social work lady? Not very much. I thought she was a bit... How can I put it? I didn't think that she thought that it was the right place for him to be, and she maybe tried to put more obstacles in the way than needed to be there. So that was that, but I really did enjoy it, and I gave it 4.5 out of 5. I then picked up another book for review, and that was Her Pretend Amish Boyfriend by Rachel J. Good. Again, I really enjoyed this book. This is the next book in the sort of the farmers market series, and it concentrates on Caroline. Now, Caroline works with her brother Gideon at the family chicken store, like roast chicken stall in the farmers market. And one day she's hurrying to work, and she takes a shortcut through the auction mart, bangs into this man, upsets the packages that he's carrying, and feels really sorry for it. But the guy Fred, who runs the auction mart, is really not a nice guy. I really didn't like him, and he's like really nasty to her. And the man she bumped into, Noah, tries to sort of, make things better, but that doesn't work. And Noah's sort of he has things in his past that he's hiding, but Caroline wants to sort of make it up to him, and it's sort of their story as to how they get to know each other, and things come out about Noah's past. But Mrs. Is it Vandenberg? She can sort of see the good in Noah. She sees the good in Caroline, and she's not totally match makes, but along those lines. But both of them have to grow, and both of them have to, I wouldn't say change, but they have to accept things about themselves that is hard, maybe hard to do, before they're going to be able to sort of work together as a unit. It was brilliantly written. I really loved the characters. I didn't, as I say, I docked at a couple of points just because of how nasty the auctioneer man was and his son, and they were, it was snide, and it just didn't sit well with me. And there was also another character who was a young Amish man, but the way he acted, and the way he acted towards Caroline, I just felt it wasn't nice. It didn't sit with the way I would, shall we say, from what I've read, the way I would expect an Amish boy to be. He wasn't like that. I can understand why he was the way he was, because basically it was jealousy and envy, because she was far better at volleyball than he was. But I just found him too nasty, because the comments he made were, it wasn't nice, and it was snide, and I didn't like that. I love Mrs. Vanderburg. I think she is such a fabulous character. She wants she wants to help everybody. She wants everybody to be the best that they can be, and she does what she can to make that happen. And she is really nice. I like the way that Gideon and Caroline's parents react to various things that happened, and I can understand why at certain points her dad was like, no, we don't want you being, with Noah, etc. I really, really liked that. I liked seeing the growth of Caroline throughout this story. It was really good, and I liked seeing Noah open up to people and, trust people again, which I thought was really, really nice. So those were the three Amish books that I kind of read one after the other. Those were my three Amish books for Amish in April. I will also leave down in the comments below the date for the publication of her Pretend Amish Boyfriend by Rachel J. Good, because again it was another review book. And thank you again to NetGalley and I think it was Kensington for this one. Yes, it was Kensington for the Pretend Amish her Pretend Amish Boyfriend. Really good, really enjoyed it. So yes, that was that one. I then read my first 5 out of 5 for this month, and that was Summer Wedding by Sarah Morgan. I got my review copy last weekend, and I think it took me 2 days to read. Really, really enjoyed this. So we meet Catherine Swift. Catherine is a very famous author, and she writes romance stories. But her latest romance story has maybe not hit the heights that she wants to hit. And she is thinking of a change of genre. And she starts writing this book. So we get little snippets of this. But the main thing about Catherine is that she's about to be married for the 4th time. And she sends a letter to both her daughters, Adeline and Cassie. Now, Adeline lives in London. She has a very safe, but I would have to say boring as blazes, relationship with Mark. I mean, Adeline is a psychologist who helps people with their problems, and she has a friend who is full of life, bouncy, bubbly, and everything. Adeline is closed off. It's the only way I can describe it. Doesn't let people in. Even her boyfriend, it's, they don't do spontaneous things. Everything is organized. And I was just like, oh. So when this letter from her mother arrives saying we married for the 4th time, Adeline's like, oh my God, not again. And doesn't really want to go to the wedding. But she phones her father, who was Catherine's first husband. And he's like, no, I think you should go, go support your mum. And she's like, yeah, okay, you know, she's like, I suppose I better go, you know, Dad wants me to go. So that's Adeline. Cassie is just finished Oxford University, and she works in the cafe that she's worked in for a couple of years, shares a flat with her best friend Oliver, and she is like really excited that her mother's getting remarried, really happy, is happy to going back to Corfu for the wedding. Not too happy that her sister Adeline is coming as well, because the two of them don't really get on. So they arrive for the wedding, and I'd worked out who the groom was way before it was in, you know, it was written in the book. And there are various things that happen in the build up to the wedding that makes both Adeline and Cassie reevaluate their earlier childhood, and things that happened during that. It brings back memories, and Cassie has also got news for her mum, and this news is the catalyst for Catherine revealing things about her past life that the girls didn't know. And it actually made the three of them grow together as a unit more. It really helped Adeline and Cassie rebond and become the sisters that their mother had always hoped they would be. So this is like a story of redemption in many ways, of a family refinding itself and learning to grow together. It was really well written. I loved the descriptions of Corfu. It sounded so nice, and I liked the family dynamics. I liked the way that the dynamics changed as more revelations were brought forward, and as the characters worked their way through these revelations. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed this one, and I'm really so glad to be, you know, a member of Sarah Morgan's review crew. So a really good book. From there, I've picked up one that I got for my Christmas, which was 9 Lives of Christmas by Sheila Roberts. This is the story of a cat who wants his ninth life to be long and good, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I've only got that bit to read, so I will definitely get that finished possibly today. So yeah, so that's kind of what I've been reading this week. So I've had a really good reading week. Yes, there's been some more book mail. I've ordered 2 books from Waterson's online, and I have to say, I just didn't fancy driving into Edinburgh to get books. I thought, right, save the petrol money, postage is cheaper, so I ordered it online from Waterson's, and the service has been fantastic. So the 2 books that I'm about to show you are 2 that I will be reading in May for middle grade May. This is run by Lizzie from Lizzie Faye Loves Books, Elizabeth Tyree from Soul Stained Ink, Storm reads, and is it Lee from Dark Roots Creations? I think they're the 4. I know the first 3. I think Lee's the 3rd one. I will find the announcement videos, and I will leave them a link to their channels down below. So I am buddy reading both of these with Beth from Soul Stained Ink, my friend. So the first one we've chosen is Escape from Atlantis by Kate O'Hearn. If you're wondering, I've heard that name before. Kate O'Hearn wrote the Pegasus series, and I read 3 or 4 of them and loved them. So this is her Atlantis one, so this sounds really, really interesting. The last way that Riley wanted to spend a spring break was studying whales on the family sailboat in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle. With only her dad, aunt and annoying cousin Alfie for company, she is so bored staring at the waves that she's starting to see mermaids between them. But when their boat is capsized during a sudden storm, Riley finds more excitement than she bargained for, as she and Alfie are washed ashore with neither of their parents in sight. Where they've been shipwrecked is no deserted island, though. Atlantis is a place beyond imagination, inhabited by both people and incredible creatures, ranging from unicorns and gargoyles to talking animals. But not everybody welcomes the cousins' arrival, and beneath the wonders of this magical land lurk dangerous secrets. Something strange is happening to the inhabitants. What Riley wants more than anything is to find her father and go home. But the closer she gets to this goal, the more the islanders seem determined to keep her from reaching it. As Riley and Alfie unravel the mystery of Atlantis and its most terrifying part, the Forbidden Zone, they realise that the clock is ticking. If they can't learn what happened to their parents and find a way off the island soon, it may be too late to leave. So I'm really looking forward to this. I'm sure I'm going to really, really enjoy it. And then we've also chosen Keeper of the Lost Cities, Everblaze. This is book 3 in the Keeper of the Lost Cities series. So really, really looking forward to seeing where this story takes Sophie. So those are kind of the books I've read and the books that, are sort of slightly planned for the future. So that's kind of been that. What else am I going to do this weekend? There's rugby on tomorrow. Definitely watch that. It's the semi-finals of the European Champions Cup and Challenge Cup. So that both those lots of semi-finals are on this weekend. So looking forward to watching those. I know I'll need to make bread tomorrow, so that'll be a sort of bit of a baking part of the day. I may try and start working on putting my cardigan together. Didn't do it during the week. I might try and do it this weekend. I'll see how I feel. I'll maybe pick up a cross-stitch project I've started, so I might sort of pick that up. But apart from that, that's kind of my plans for the weekend. Don't think the weather's going to be such that I will get to sit out, but that doesn't matter. Hopefully the weather will improve over the next couple of weeks and I'll get to sit in the sun, which would be nice. My other half's up and open. He's like, "Oh, I'm great. I've had great weather here. I've been sitting out." And I'm like, "Go away." I'm like, "Huff." But never mind. I think he's due to rain this weekend. What a shame, eh? So that's so sad. But yeah, so that's it. But please let me know down in the comments, have you read any of the books that I've mentioned? If so, what you thought of them. Please, no spoilers. Well, because the ones I've read, we can chat about that. What have you been reading this week, and what are you reading this weekend, and what plans do you have? I would love to know. But as I say, next you're going to see Mum and I making the new cake and our reactions to it. I really hope you enjoy it. And if you, as I've said I've said in the video of that, if you want the recipe, please let me know down below, and I'll try and get it to you. But until my next video, friends, stay safe, happy reading. Bye. Hey friends, well, Ma and I are doing some cooking today. We're using this book that we received from friends in Canada when we were visiting many years ago. And we are making this dark forest carob torte. And we have the first lot of ingredients there. What was it? Was the pan okay?
Yep.
Cool.
Exactly, 8 inches.
Oh, cool. Do you think we should, what do you call the word? What am I looking for? Line it, that's the word. Or will we cheat and use one of the round cake liners?
Oh.
Right, we're going to cheat, folks. We'll show you in a minute. There we go. One cake liner in. Seriously, guys, that saves an awful lot of trouble, a lot of time and effort. And you just bung it in the pan, isn't that right? She's not answering me.
I was just trying to straighten the sides out a wee bit.
But it's fine. Cool. Right, we shall get around to doing our ingredients, and I'll take you sort of once we've got everything in the pot and the bowls. I'll let you see. Okay, so we've got the flour in there, and what are we to do now next?
A teaspoonful baking soda.
Right. Okay. Here we go. Okay, in here we've got our flour, baking powder and spices. So that's, and you just stir them together. It looks like a really quite good recipe because you just stir things together. You don't actually need to use your machine, which is brilliant. So we did all our dry ingredients first because I reckoned it would be better to do that rather than get these all wet and then have to wash them, dry them.
Over on the table.
She's bossing me about.
Oh, you know?
I know myself. I know myself. I do knock things over. She's right. I can be a klutz in the kitchen. Right, so we're now going on to kind of let our, what I call our wet dry ingredients, because we've got some dry and some wet, but I'll let you see what we're doing as we, when we do it. Okay, I'm sieving the cocoa powder. It's supposed to be carrot powder. I don't have any. I'm using very dark cocoa powder. And Mum, I was going to use the nylon sieve, but Mum said to me not to use the metal one because it won't stain. So there's a tip for you. Do not, if you're using cocoa powder, do not use,
or anything with a dye in it.
Or anything with a dye in it, do not use,
quarter cup corn oil.
Right, we don't have corn oil, we're using rapeseed oil. So I'm just using what I've got in the cupboard and that's the way it's going. Okay, I've added the oil and we're now, it's supposed to be half a cup of maple syrup. I am just shy. So Ma is putting in some golden syrup. Probably takes some of the health benefit away from this cake, but needs must, as the saying goes. We didn't have any agave syrup, which we would have used. That'll be fine. You know, I'll just make it do, Ma. That'll be fine. So that goes in there. I will sort of scrape that out a wee bit, and then I think I mix these three together. So, right, so I have to stir this until smooth. So Ma's doing a good job of hanging onto the bowl. I want to try and get some of this stuff off the side. There's the wee doofer. Having a little spatula is always very, very handy. Remember when I got this one, I thought, oh, I'll never use that one. Yeah, I do use it a lot, actually. It's really, really handy. So, I need to go back to doing some wee bit more. It looks tasty. Mind you, anything with chocolate and it looks tasty. So, once I get this really smooth, mind you, it is pretty smooth. We will go on to the next bit. Okay, into this we have added an egg and some vanilla extract. Now Mum's going to put in some grated orange rind. So, and I have to say the whiskers, it was a great idea, Mum. Better than I thought of using it. I thought of using a spoon. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm not having an awake day, okay?
That makes two of us.
Yeah, but I think you'll be maybe slightly more awake than I am. So, yeah, Mum is using this handy dandy zestery thing. Grater, that's the word I'm looking for, grater. So yeah. But I have to say, that does smell so nice. It really does, guys. It's so tasty. Hopefully it'll taste nice once it comes out the oven. So, but what I'll do is in the description box below I'll I'll give you the name of the book we're using. What are you looking for? Teaspoon. There you go, Matt. Teaspoon is that one there.
No, not.
So it's
2 teaspoons.
So that's 1. That should be 2, shouldn't it? So, and then how much do you need? Half a cup of buttermilk. That's fine, put that there. So do I tweak this round as well? Yeah, I tweak that round.
Oh, this is not enough.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Okay. Well,
Grate the rest.
I'm gonna measure out half a cup of buttermilk and put it in as well. Okay, the buttermilk's in. Mum is getting the next teaspoon of orange zest. So, and I just again tweak this together. Yeah, I think so. Hold on. We need a tablespoon of orange juice. Do we? Yeah, we need it for the filling. It's just a quarter of a teaspoon though. That's it. So, you want to put a bit more into that, or do you want to keep it for the filling? We're putting more into the cake. That's fine. No problem. Right, I'm going to wheat this round. Okay, we're now adding the dry ingredients to the wet, and it's to mix it until it's smooth.
I take it we didn't need any orange juice or anything.
No, not in this bit. No. She'll say, and she'll read the recipe and go, "Oh, I forgot," which is highly possible, knowing me. But I don't think so. Tell how you want. So we'll keep going. I'm not gonna. You'll be bored just watching Mum request this in. But once it's ready to go in the tin, I'll let you see it. Okay, friends, that's it mixed. It's a very, very thick batter. Definitely a very thick batter. It's probably one of the thickest.
That's why it's called a torte.
I think it's probably one of the thickest I've seen for a cake. How about you, Mum? So
that's why they call it a torte.
So we're gonna. Mum's gonna just.
Mum's gonna try.
Mum's gonna try and put that into the cake pan. But as you can see, the way it's just very thick. But we'll get it into the pan. I'll let you see what it looks like before I put it in the oven. Doing things like this, Ma, is brilliant. Oh, right, oh, Dad's going to try the batter. Hold on, go for it.
Yes, that's very nice.
So this now goes into the oven. Oh, Mum's going to cut some of the liner away. So I shall let her just do that, and that goes into the oven for 25 to 30 minutes. But that's kind of what it looks like. As I say, very thick batter, but for the wee bit I've tasted as well, it does taste nice. But we'll let you see what we do next with the fillings, etc. But that's going to go into the oven for the next 30 minutes. Dad came through to make himself a cup of tea, and decided he was going to help out and he was going to wash the dishes. How sweet is that? So in return, I'm drying the dishes, but I will make him a cup of tea. Mum at the moment is squeezing orange juice for the filling. So yeah, we're all occupied. Okay, we're starting in the filling because it's got to simmer for 30 minutes. So we've got a quarter of a cup of dried apricots, and to that we're going to add water and just bring it to the boil and let it simmer for 30 minutes.
Why they don't use the orange juice?
The orange juice goes in later on, because we then have to blitz this. So with the orange juice and the orange rind. So that's what we're going to do.
You mean that quarter of a teaspoonful of orange rind?
Yep. I know. Hey ho. Never mind, we'll do as it says. We can always put it this way. If we like the cake, we can adapt it as we want later on. Right. But there we go. So as we put those in, we just Mum's just chopped them up, and then we'll do 3/4 of a cup of water. So we'll do that. Okay, I know the oven door's filthy, and Mum go, "Why are you showing this?" But hey, it's risen above the top of the cake pan, which we did not expect. We thought since it was so dense, it was just going to be like pretty solid. But ooh, we're pleased with that. And then over here in the pan, we've got steam coming out. We've got the apricots in the water just gently simmering away for half an hour, so that's good. Okay, the cake is out of the oven. It smells delicious, guys. It is so nice. And then the apricots are in here, and I think they're virtually there. You won't be able to see because this is just steamed up, but the water is almost gone. We've got to blitz it, but we've decided, I was going to use my NutriBullet, but I decided it would be too quick. So as you can see in the pot, yeah, the water's almost gone, the apricots. So we're going to use one of these kitchen whiz tools. I think it's called, I don't know, it's called a billy. So we're going to use the billy because it'll give us a bit more control over making the filling. In here we've got all the apricots, and Mum's using a flexi tool. Can I see what it looks like? So that's what it's looking like. We're just going to keep going.
More orange juice.
Right, okay, we're going to use more orange juice.
Can you give me one hand?
We've blitzed it. We added more orange juice because it was a bit dry. So if I do that, I kind of see what it looks like. But that definitely, the reason I'm not doing the Blitzy tool is because I haven't really used it very much, and slightly concerned that I would have it going
over the kitchen.
Over the kitchen, we would be redecorating the kitchen, guys. Because I'm really not.
True.
You know, so there we go. If I go this way, but that's kind of what it looks like. I have to say that's supposed to put a layer in the whole cake. Aye, right. Are you gonna scrimpy and? That's never in a million. You see, that'll never spread over the whole cake. Do you agree?
Aye, totally.
I mean that's no filling. That's just a scraping.
That's not even a covering.
Good God. We may be doubling this bit, guys, so we actually get a filling, but we'll let you know. Okay, we'll put more apricots on because we knew there was not going to be enough for a decent filling in the torty. So that's just on with water. I just left them whole. They'll do away. This is what I'll come around the other side of my. So this is what we got from the quarter cup. Now, as I say, that would be enough for a piece of toast, or a couple of pieces of toast. But we added more orange juice to it, and that does look nice. I have to say, that looks very tasty. I'm going to get fed. Oh, that's delish. That is really nice. So once the apricots are done, we'll just blitz them again, and then over here we've inverted the cake onto the cooling rack. It smells absolutely gorgeous, guys. So yeah, so we'll just leave the apricots to do their biz, and then we will come back later when we're doing the rest of it. Okay, the cake is cold, so Mum's now just going to cut it because we want to see what the inside's like, and then we will fill it later on. We're using a bread knife to cut it. Do you want me to hold? Okay. Oh wow, look at the texture. That looks fabulous. Nice taste. Tops, it cracked a wee bit at the top, but that doesn't matter. That taste is delicious. So we're just going to leave it like that.
I'll leave it like that till I come home.
Okay, but that is so tasty, folks. I've got the start of the icing for the top of the cake. So I've got 3 tablespoons of butter there, and I will be adding maple syrup, molasses, cocoa, and it was supposed to be orange juice, but I'm going to use apple, peach, mango, and passion fruit because it's what I've got. So yeah, so I'm just going to gently jiggle this about so that it melts. I don't know if it's a technical term to jiggle, but it's the word I'm using, guys. Oh, it looks like a little smile. There you go. The butter's smiling. Right, okie dokes, that's it. Oopsie, whoa, that was close. That's it melted, so I shall add in the other ingredients. Okay, I've got all the other ingredients together, and I've just got to whisk this. So I'm going to use 2 hands because if I don't, the pot is going to go everywhere. Okay, that's the icing made. It's actually very runny. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens because I think that's just going to run off the cake personally. We'll see what Mum says. We may have to do a wee bit of an adaptation on this one as well. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this out of the pot and we're going to put it into the fridge because there's butter in it, so we reckon it'll stiffen up in the fridge. So we're going to try doing that to see if that helps it. Okay, that's what the filling. That's the word I'm looking for. That's what the filling looks like now. The apricots. So still soft, but I think pliable. So if you're gonna, my thought process, and I think probably Mum agrees with me. If you're gonna fill a cake, you can put a filling in the middle of the cake. For goodness sake, have a filling in the middle of the cake, not just this wee thin dribbly layer. No, you don't do that. It has to be quite.
It's meant to be seen and tasted.
There you go, from the expert. Yes, so, you know, just make sure you've got a nice layer of filling in your
Just
cake.
plain scones, you don't need sugar.
Oh,
Because
so-
what's the first thing folk do? They put on butter and jam.
There you go. She's on her soapbox, guys. But she's very right. And you know, we've just been out for coffee this afternoon, and I took back what I asked. You know, what I chose to eat. I took it back twice and actually asked for my money back because it was not what it said it was, and I just wasn't prepared to pay for it. But I'm also getting sick and tired of cafes, etc. always having sweet stuff. They you know, the people who are gluten-free, they have, you know, plenty of choice. For those of us who wish to or have to eat reduced sugar or sugar-free, there's nothing, absolutely nothing. So I've got to the stage now, I'm actually just going to start taking my own stuff, and if cafes don't like it...
Well, the worst thing of all is that cafes buy in scone mix. And they buy in cheese scone mix.
What's it in it?
Sugar.
You don't do that. Yeah, we are very... We're not anti-sugar, guys. We're not that at all, but we...
I think they're far too sweet.
So
You get
there,
no flavour off it.
so there we go. There is a nice thick layer of filling. So yeah. So that's the bottom, and then the top, as you can see, a wee bit came off it, but hey ho, that does not matter. It cracked a bit, but we'll put that in the top. See, that looks really nice. That looks. Do you know what that reminds me of? Reminds me of a Jaffa cake.
It tastes like, well, it won't.
Won't taste
It's
like
not orange
orange, but
juice.
we could. I'm thinking we could do that at some point. Is it nice?
It's not sweet.
Good. Well, we don't want it sweet. Hold on. Ma's giving me a wee taste of the filling. I should really. It's not, but it's got taste though. It's got flavour.
Flavour.
Yum. And now the top goes on, and the wee bits that fell off. But see, we'll just cover that with icing. If you hold on, I shall go and get you the icing, Matt. Okay, the icing is going on.
Hang on.
Hang on.
Hang on.
Okay, I hanged on, but I'm not going to hang on now. I'm going to come round to the other side. Hold on, folks. There we go. Ooh, that just looks nice. That does look lovely. So what I'm going to do, I'll let you see us tasting this because we're having this as for our pudding tonight. But I will definitely I'll leave a link to the book down below. I'm not sure if you can get it. What I'll do is I'll leave a link to I'll let you name, or I will name the book down below. If I can find a link to it on an online bookstore, I will leave the link to it as well. If I can't do that and you would like this recipe, because I can't put it down below obviously for copyright reasons, but if you like the recipe and you can't get the book, then let me know, and I will, if you give me we can DM and I'll give you it through a private message. But this just looks so tasty now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this at tea time. Should be nice. And the icing is thickened out quite nicely, hasn't it, Mum?
Yeah. Just let it drip.
Let it drip down the side, but it does. That looks just so tasty. So
Cover up the bits that fell off.
fell off, aye. But there you go. That's what the cake looks like. And the book says you can put edible flowers and stuff on it to decorate it. No, we're not going to bother. But it does. It just looks so nice.
Oh, I missed a bit.
You missed a bit, hen. I just bung that on it. So there we go. But yeah. So I will speak to you when we're going to test it, or taste it, I should say. All right, Dad's about to be brave and test the cake.
Yeah, it's very nice because the cake's not sweet, but the apricot
Have you tried it with this at the topping as well?
Oh, sorry, I'm going the wrong way.
No, you can go whichever way you want, but it's just you.
I'll take it. I like it. Yeah, very good.
Cool.
I've got the bit where the bit fell off.
Right, Mum's going to test it now. Thumbs up from Ma, so that's good.
It's got a lovely orangey flavour through it.
Cool, right, I will switch the camera and then I'll try my bit. Okay, I'm going to try it now. Let's see if I can get a bit of it. That is seriously tasty, guys. It's not sweet. As Mum does it, gorgeous orange flavour coming out, but the apricots are great. It's just so nice. So, as I say, I'll leave the name of the book down in the description. If I can find a link to it, I will do. But if you want the recipe, send me a DM and I'll give it to you. But this is tasty.